Title of the video, should you buy a Garmin? It's a little fancy watch here. Basically, the way that I see it is if you care at all about your fitness, you're serious at all about your running and cycling, definitely get one. It's pretty expensive, like $200 watch. Just use it a few times a week, but what you got to realize is they last a while. As far as I know, they just kind of last like a few years, and it definitely helps since you know exactly how far you went. You know your heart. You can tell if you have the heart rate strap. You can tell your heart rate, average speed if you want that, your power. It's literally got just about everything. Let me see if I can bring it up. But really, it just really helps because you have an objective. You objectively have measurements about what you're doing, this and that. Alright, I got it somewhere that I don't even know what I'm doing. So basically, it really helps since you have a objective view of exactly what you're doing. You know how fast, how far. A really neat, dandy thing is that at least on this one, which is the 310 XT, I believe it is. You even have, you might not be able to see that. It's too bright. But basically, you have a virtual partner, and you can get the speed here. So this is very helpful for us when you're running, because this way you have time for how fast can you run each mile. But this also helps if you have like Strava segments that you're gonna. Strava is basically just something online that you have to that has these segments people make, and you race against them, or you just ride them and it records or whatever. And this really helps because let's say you went at 10 miles an hour. You set this to 11 or 10 and a half, and then you go for that speed and race that partner. So it definitely really brings your game up because you know how far you went, which isn't too difficult to calculate, but sometimes the stupid things mess up, you know, based on the wheel. These little gadgets, not really too reliable. So you have an objective, how far you went, how fast, if speed matters to you. You can also put your power on there if you have a power meter, but if you don't have a Garmin, you probably don't have a power meter. You can put your heart rate on if you have a heart rate strap, which isn't too much. If you have something to measure your cadence, you know, you got your cadence. Basically, this is just kind of like as you buy it, it's just a tool to tell you how far, how fast, what time, how long you've been, little things like this. But you can keep adding things that make it like a really awesome thing. Like if you have all these things, you have your power, your heart rate, and you can see how long you've been out, how far you've been out, and then you can really gauge your effort and you know, gauge your effort. You know, you get the point. You get the point. You can have a whole lot of handy dandy little things in this guy, and there's not really any issue with it except it doesn't have a 24-hour battery life. But I think this is like 12 hours or something, which isn't too terribly difficult because most people aren't going to go out and ride their bike for 3 days in a row. So for the average person, Garmin's going to be worth it if they're serious at all about their fitness. Otherwise, you might as well just stick with something really cheap, like $10 thing. It's not a big deal. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this helped you.